Time now?
Okay. What's up, everybody? We're live, and we got a couple of beautiful A's for y'all tonight. Let's go. And we're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Purple Pill Pod class, episode 85. Number one show in the world for dating. So right here in Dallas, Texas. There's 86 now, actually. I might have said that wrong. I don't know. Please make sure to like the video on its way in, though. Hit that subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell so y'all can also see every time we got a live show coming up, guys. Follow us on the podcast Instagram as well. Go add these two beautiful ladies that came on the show tonight so we can bless them for driving all the way out here. We're now streaming to Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Rumble, and YouTube all at the same time. If you want to show support, you can do that by hitting the join button under the video right now and become a YouTube member. That comes with some emojis for the show, and you can also super chat in any questions that y'all have for the ladies for tonight. We're now on all audio platforms as well, guys, which is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anything like that. But yeah, please check out the Instagram right now that we got links below and go add these ladies so we can bless them up a little bit. Shout out to my producer tonight. We got Donnie in the house.
Yep.
I appreciate you, bro. We also got our new boy Johnny in the house also helping us out with some stuff. So shout out to you, bro. But yeah, to start with the questions, ladies, we always just like to learn a little bit about you, your name, your age, your education level, what you do for work, and your relationship status. Let's start with our guest that hasn't been here yet. So go ahead.
Thank you.
Talking to the mic.
Okay, my name is Nikki. I also go by the Vital Rage on Instagram.
Talk a little closer if you could.
But yes, the Vital Rage. I produce EDM, specifically dubstep and rhythm. But my newest single just came out. It's Rizkilla. It's going to be on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, everywhere. So check that out. And then during the daytime, I manage a nail salon.
Well, that's dope. Have you produced any for like really, really big artists that I wouldn't know just off the top of my head, or just like just mostly like smaller local people? Like
I produce my own EDM music, so I haven't produced
for any others?
No, it's my music. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you want to hear any of the music that I've produced, then you would just look up Vital Rage, and it's going to be on all platforms.
Do you do a lot of live stuff? Like, do you ever go like DJ at any clubs here in Dallas or anything like that, or do you just like just the music making aspect? You just like making it? Like, are you more online presence, or do you do a lot of stuff around here too?
Currently, it's more online presence, so I kind of did it backwards. I started producing, like mixing, mastering music before doing live sets, but festivals, raves, that is the goal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, why is that considered? I don't think that that's backwards. Like, what's wrong with just starting with being a producer first?
Well, I started producing music, and I'm like, well, I want to perform this live, so I guess it depends on who you ask if it's backwards.
Yeah. I'm sure some people in the industry might think it's backwards, but to me, normal NPC people like me is nothing, you know. But yeah.
Did she say your age?
Oh yeah, what was your age?
Oh, I'm 25.
25, and then did you say education level?
Education level. I'm a licensed esthetician.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
And relationship status?
I am taken. I am seeing somebody.
How long y'all been together?
About 3 months now.
Is he like do you live with them, or is it just like no?
Oh no, he hasn't gotten there yet.
Do you think that like this is like a really, really serious guy? Like, is this somebody that like you see yourself being like possibly married to one day? I know that's early to think about that, but like you like taking it very seriously?
Yeah. I believe in like spiritual connections, and I usually, whenever I'm with somebody, I like to invest my energy wisely. So, I mean, yeah, I love him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's getting pretty serious.
Hey, that's like really good if you're saying that you love him at 3 months. So like we got to break this down because I like to help girls get into relationships. Like the whole point of my show is helping girls get in relationships. So I'm really curious. Like, can you break down what he did to like who asked who to make it serious?
It just kind of happened naturally. We didn't really.
He didn't ask you to be his girlfriend or anything?
He did.
Who's the first one that said I love you?
This was like yesterday.
Okay.
Like it was like right after my birthday. That's whenever.
Barely.
Yes. So that throwing that word around like it's new, but I don't think either of us take it lightly. So, but yeah, I think we were talking for 2 months, and then he was like you're my lady. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. So it was just kind of like a natural thing.
How many dates was that in that 2 months? Like just 2 or 1 or 3?
I'd say like once a week.
Y'all went out once a week, like, and he did like the whole shebang. He took you like on a real date, or was some of them chilling where y'all just went out for a walk, or just did like chilling stuff where it wasn't that expensive?
I mean, expensive. I wasn't even really keeping count. It was more of just us like spending. We both make music, so we were just working on music together, doing our own projects. So
that's dope. But no, I still gotta know who said "I love you" first. You didn't answer that.
Oh, he did.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh man, poor guy. But then you said it right back though, right after he said it.
Yes.
Okay, well then that's okay, I guess. Then it would have been really bad if he would have said it, and then you're just like, yeah. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But no, I'm sorry I had to peel the layers back. I just like to learn more about people's relationships, especially if they're new ones. What about you? Thank you for coming back. Go ahead and do your intro.
Oh, hell to the no! You brought this bitch back to the single location.
My name is Jazz. I'm 22. I graduated high school. I'm a full-time day trader, and I teach people how to trade. And I'm still single.
Yeah, guys, y'all gotta go check her out. She's actually been helping me with some different forex stuff. We've been talking a lot, and if y'all need any help with any type of forex stuff, please go check her out. She's a really good local person when it comes to getting help with that type of stuff. But yeah, why are you still single? What the fuck is your problem? I'm just kidding.
It's been like a month.
Oh shit! I just broke the F-bomb already. Damn. But yeah, you said it's been a month.
It's been a month since I've been saying I'm single on the show.
Oh,
I feel like it's been a month, maybe a month and a half.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, I guess that's not bad.
I know it's only been a month, but I'm just curious. Are you doing anything to kind of put yourself out there, or are you just kind of like, I'm just chilling right now?
As of like 4 or 5 days ago, I've started like putting myself out there.
What does that mean? What are you doing? Where are you going?
Coffee shops, museums. Don't laugh, but like I'm trying to find the love of my life.
But like, so like, has it worked though? Like, did you go to a coffee shop? Did any guys come up to you? Like, did you sit outside of one for like an hour or two, and did anybody walk up?
There were 2 people that did when I was at the coffee shop, but
you didn't like them?
I don't think I would, but like I'm giving it a chance.
It's almost as if like a coffee shop might attract, losers or something.
Good guys. It might attract good guys.
No, no, I'm just teasing you. I don't even think like there's actual losers always there. But I mean, I've never gone and sat at a coffee shop just to like, I don't know. I'm not a loser. What do you think though? Is like holding you back the most? Like, what do you think is like the thing that's like making you so nervous? Because you sound like you got a lot of fear. Like you're like really nervous and shit. Like, what's making you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous. It's just I like being in the house. Like I like going out, but it's like I'm on a mission now to like try to get myself seen. Like I feel like I have to do more. Like since I've been on this show, I feel like I'm actually like putting in work like to be seen when like I don't really have to do that,
Yeah, you don't have to put in work to be seen. We just talk about like, there's certain locations that aren't always great to meet at, but like, where'd you meet your guy at?
Tinder.
Never
You could do
again.
the whole dating app thing. You want to try that? Never?
No.
I mean, nowadays I feel like, okay, you cross paths, but people don't want to shoot their shot anymore. So you match online. That kind of connects you to someone that they might not have like spoken up and like said hi whenever they saw you out in public. So you might go to the same places and no one made a move.
Y'all
so.
reject somebody for that though.
See, but this is what. See, that's what I'm curious about. Is like, you're right. You're right that like in today's society, most guys, they wouldn't want to go cold approach that girl or talk to her. But he has the balls to message you on Tinder, or he has the balls to swipe on you and say hey or something like that. But do you think that like, do you like guys like that? Like, do you like guys that aren't what I would call assertive?
I think being assertive is good because, like, for a man specifically, I think guys don't shoot their shot sometimes because ego and their fear of rejection, and women experience it as well. But a guy that can take the lead and be assertive, it allows the woman to be in their divine feminine and to like let their guard down and be soft, if you will.
Do you think that guy's kind of assertive though?
Yeah,
He
I wouldn't be with him if he wasn't.
Okay. But so whenever it comes to the past relationships that you had, did you where did you meet those guys at? Like
Um,
we're gonna say the more
like
serious
work.
ones, like the ones that lasted as long as the one that you're in right now, like those ones.
I would say work, school, going out with my friends, and
But this
like
is the first guy from Tinder, or is there another guy that you dated from dating apps before?
I went on dates and I had like talking phases, if you will, like with guys from Tinder. But this is like I don't know. I didn't get on Tinder thinking I was gonna meet somebody serious. It was more like let's just see what happens. So
No, just see if a hot
yeah,
guy
roll the
swipes.
dice. Yes.
Wow, that's funny. So like one of the things I'm actually heavily against sometimes is like dating apps, but the only reason why is because like sometimes people don't take each other serious on there because there's no connection. Like if I met you on Tinder, there's nothing connecting me to you in any other shape or form other than Tinder. So like say I screw you over and like I pump and dump you or I do anything like rude or say I hurt you, like say something I do like something really horrible to you. I have no fear of repercussions from you going and telling like a friend group of ours or my family or anything like that because we're not connected communally like we're just connected just by just Tinder, you know? So like there's some like it's great for hooking up. You like any guys y'all want to smash? Yeah. Totally use dating apps. Girls, you want just short term? You just want to smash? Yeah, dude, greatest thing in the world. But sometimes for long term stuff, it's sometimes risky. I'm not gonna say all the time. I actually have two sisters who have serious relationships from dating apps, but they're also older than me. Like they're like I think for the older generation, it's not the same as for the younger. Sometimes. How old is this guy?
30.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you because you took a while to say it.
I got a follow up question too.
Yeah.
Like, I know that you say you want somebody assertive. I'm pretty sure, Jazz, would you say you want to do that's assertive?
Of course.
You want somebody assertive. So, with that being said, guys can be assertive. However, how their approach is either going to be cute or considered creepy, depending on their attraction level, your attraction towards them. Would y'all agree to that?
I would agree.
I don't know. I think there's some like rare gems, if you will, on dating apps, and I guess I would consider myself one of them. I really like I need to read the bio. I'm not just gonna swipe left, right, and go like gambling, just swiping everywhere because it's more than just looks. You might meet someone on there that what if y'all cross paths at the grocery store, but no one said anything. So on my bio, I said you know where to find me. I just put my Instagram. So if they want to like take that next step and just be like, I'm gonna go see what this girl's about, like my Instagram, I have my music and my
Instagram got your bitch.
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's funny the Instagram. You know how a lot of guys hate that actually sometimes because they're like, man, she's just trying to promote her OnlyFans. She's trying to promote her thing, or she's trying to promote that. Sometimes it doesn't come off always good. So tonight, guys, what I wanted to talk about was differences between like feminine and masculine energies because and it's funny because you're talking about like divine feminine stuff. So like let's just kind of go through like a list that I kind of made earlier of what is feminine and what is masculine, and just see if y'all agree with me or if y'all are like, nope, I disagree. That's not fucking feminine. That's not masculine. But complaining. Do y'all think complaining is a feminine or a masculine trait?
Sometimes people just are hungry. Like I think it's normal. Let's normalize kind of having a little pout sesh for a second. It's good to create like a safe space for your partner to be able to complain, and I don't think it has like a role, whether masculine or feminine. I want to hear a guy tell me about his day, even if it's like the good, the bad, tell me what went wrong. You got a flat tire, I want to hear about it.
In like your previous relationships, like your boyfriend and stuff, were they the type of guys that did that a lot? Like they wanted to sit and talk with you all the time?
Talk like to vent to me.
Yeah, just like what you just explained.
Um, I think I have a really healing energy, so I feel like people usually feel comfortable opening up to me, but I've always felt like I was in my like masculine energy in relationships, so it's kind of like a new experience.
So you did experience like guys like doing that a lot. Like you did experience like guys in the past venting to you a lot. That's why I'm asking. Like how many times specifically in your past did you have guys that were really like that? That like loved to be able to do what you just said, like vent to you like that.
I'd say all the time. I like to make it like a safe space where they can do. It doesn't annoy me.
And like you were very like it was a very normal thing in your relationships for your guy to come home from work and like sit there and like vent to you and stuff every day.
Yeah, unless I'm like, hey, like I'm on 2 out of 10. I'm on 20% right now. Can we talk about? I can't, handle this right now. I'm already overstimulated from my day. Then that's just communication. But for the
No,
most
I'm
part,
just really surprised. I've never in my entire life ever gone home and complained to my girlfriend about anything. So I'm just really surprised. Like in the yeah, I just didn't even know the other guys did that. What do you think? Do you think that complaining is a feminine or a masculine trait?
I'm gonna have to say feminine. Um, it just I don't know, like as far as like complaining, there's nothing wrong with venting, like a guy venting, but when it comes to like actually complaining, like how she was talking about females pouting and stuff like that, it's just like go
So
get it
venting. Okay,
done.
so like if I came home from work and I'm like, babe, my boss was just so mean today. Like he just was not being nice. I didn't hit my quota, and he was just like, "Why didn't you hit your quota?" It's like I cannot believe how hard this was. Like so, like you would be okay with a guy talking to you like that? Like you would be like,
Not
"Oh
like
yeah, I love it when you vent to me, baby."
no, I'm saying like okay, an example would be like they got on my nerves today, like I'm sick of them, like, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
anything else, like if we're talking about it for like, if I have to like
If
give a
it's longer
drink,
than one
yeah,
sentence,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. No, see, that's like I can understand your man coming home and like his jeans are ripped, and you're like, "Why are your jeans ripped?" And I was like, "Oh, this dumbass dropped the torch today or something." You know, it's
Yeah,
like
something like that.
but it's just like, but to sit there and just like lay into it and
Yeah.
just like sit there and just complain and just say, "Oh no, this hurts my feelings." No, like I've just never seen it.
Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real, man. I would argue that complaining is essentially a female trait, a feminine trait, and it's for a good reason. And it's the same for children too. Y'all need to complain because for thousands of years, y'all weren't the problem solvers in most situations. In most situations, the problem solver was the man. So he's the type where you go and complain to him, whether it's the kids or the mother, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go. We're hungry. Okay, I'm gonna go kill a fucking deer. Okay, or oh, we need this. Okay, I'm gonna go do that right now. So like we're used to masculinity is being a problem solver instead of complaining, solving the complaint. Like complaining is okay as a man only if you're solving the issue. Like if I come home and I'm crying to y'all about we're broke, the credit cards are all the way up, we can't pay this next thing, and I'm sitting here crying to you, or I'm not crying, but say I'm just complaining, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, we can't do this, and but I don't have a solution, I look like a bitch. But
Mhm.
if I have a solution and I know how we're going to solve it and I'm like this is what we should do, we need to at least try this. We should try that. Baby, don't worry because we're going to figure it out by doing this and we're going to do that or we're going to see what we can do by doing this. But to sit there and just say and just wallow in pity and just say I don't know what I'm going to do. We can't do this. What's going to happen? That's extremely feminine. That is what a dude would have gone that would have died hundreds of thousands of years ago in the wilderness. Like guys couldn't have that mentality for thousands of years. It's only today where we have the privilege of acting like a little bitch. There's no reason for men to act that way. It's only today where we have this crazy privilege where women are okay with us acting like little girls. And then you say that you like these things, but I can prove with statistics that women like they've done tests on women like putting stuff on their genitals to see what turns them on. They've done tests like sweat tests. They've done all types of tests to see what women are turned on to. And a lot of stuff that I'm about to bring up in these things, a lot of them are backed by science showing that women actually like these type of masculine traits and they don't like these other ones, and it's usually because this is masculine and this is feminine and we're both perfectly in our own energies. Now don't get me wrong, it can swap. So say like a woman is super masculine, the guy can act super feminine all day long, and guess what, their relationship will be awesome. You can't have two alphas in a relationship. You can't have one woman being super masculine and another man being super masculine and arguing all the hell no, that's not going to work. And there's very rare cases probably where they're both acting like very feminine, but the woman can be super masculine and he can be super feminine and it'll work out perfect because they're yin and yang. The energies are perfectly swapped, and we see it all the time in gay couples or in trans couples. Like we see those energies swapped all the time. So it's possible you can have a relationship where it's completely swapped. I would argue it's not healthy though, and it's not the best for the people.
I think I don't know if my man comes home, he's like telling me about something. I'm There's some problem solving that I can do. Like let me go pick up some food for us, or like let me give you a shoulder massage and like comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like comfort isn't solving the problem though. Like comfort is beautiful. Like I love comfort. Like comfort is a great thing when you're relaxing, when you're done solving a problem, when you're doing those things. Like, or say his mother dies and he needs comfort. Yes, like comfort is a great thing, but comfort doesn't put food on the table.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, it's still solving the problem. And I agree that like your woman should be able to help you solve some problem. Like so like I'll give you an example. Like with my girl, I always bring up how complimentary we are. And so like I'm not, if we go to the grocery store and we're getting something, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with her over like a meat choice because she's the expert at that. That is what she has way more knowledge than me, and she's bought way more meats than me. She knows the best meat for us to buy right now for the cost or whatever the fuck it is. She knows way better than I do. So sometimes you do have to concede, like, and be like, no, like you're the best, you're the awesome at this, like you do this, you know, like or like. So I would definitely go to my girl over and if I complain about something that I know that she's an expert at, like I don't know, if I was sad about crocheting or something, I would go to her and be like, hey, babe, I can't do this crochet pattern or whatever. Like, will you please, help me with this? But it's just very rarely that she's out experting me in something that's like financial or something like that. Now, if you're with guys where you out expert them in certain financial needs, then of course, like I would agree, then you should definitely give him advice on those things because you're beating him in that. Which I hope if he's 30 years old and you're 25, it's not always the case, especially financial, because financial is like such a key thing. But yeah, shout out to Mr. Worldwide. Like the video, guys. Everybody like the video on y'all's way in, please. Next up, ladies, I wanted to ask this one's a really controversial one. Chasing versus not chasing in a relationship. Which one or which is this chasing in a relationship feminine or a masculine trait? Like saying they're trying to get a relationship with somebody. Do you think that's a feminine thing or do you think that's a masculine thing?
Feminine.
You think it's feminine?
Um, I mean, I think it depends on the situation, but I mean, I
Talk
like
a
I
little closer
like
if you can.
I like to be pursued personally.
I can
But
see
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I can see that. So who do you like think is the one that is like the prize in the relationship? Like if you had to say that one person has like holds more value or in a relationship standing, like who do you think is the prize? Yeah, we'll start with you, Jasmine. Go ahead. I'm not gonna break it all down this time, but
Who's the 51%?
The
yeah,
man.
51%.
The man.
What do you think?
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Yeah,
I
usually
my perspective on like the whole dynamic is like that is my king. I am like the queen, and we just like take over the world together, and we're both alphas, but there's that yin and yang like balance to it. But I think we're both the prize. Like I see him like the hottest thing out there, and I hope that he thinks the same. And it's just like us versus the world. Like everyone has their own perspective they're living through, and I always say like this is our movie. Everyone's just living in it, not in an egotistical way, but yeah, you're your own main character.
What
Yeah.
pillow did you read that from? Like something that was printed on a pillow.
Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment.
No, but so like the whole equal thing, it's like really cute, like in a storybook. Like it's like really cute, like in a Disney ending or something like that. Like everything that like when we talk about those things, it's cute, But at the end of the day, shit ain't equal, like at all, like not at all, like not sexually, not in this world, like like reality is super sexist. We are actually extremely different. Like a lot of people in this world today have like a blank slate ideology, which means that like everything is a blank slate. Like when we're born, men and women are basically the same, and our environment makes us who we are and stuff. Most people have that mentality because that's what psychology and colleges is teaching right now because they're fucking stupid. But in reality, we're actually extremely different. Our cells, our brain, what turns us on, all types of things are completely actually opposites, not even close to the same. So when I ask that question, like who's the prize, like there is a very distinct one that is the prize, but it just depends which type of guy you're choosing. Because if you're choosing what I call an NPC, an 80% man, a 90% man, like the average guys, all the average guys, like I would definitely agree that it is very much equal or the woman is better than them. But when we look at the guys who are the prize, the guys that most, I'm not going to say like all, but most the girls are chasing, because a lot of girls want a certain type of height or a certain type of guy, or he looks good or he makes good money or something like that. And because of those things, those guys have more power, like they have more leverage, like they're the prize. and they put the ring on your finger. They're the one who, ask you to usually be in a relationship. So because of those things, that's why the man is the prize, because the relationship is the prize. It's not like y'all are the gatekeepers of sex, but we're the gatekeepers of relationships. So that's great that like you can control everybody that's gonna have sex with you, but I control anybody that I'm gonna get into a relationship with. That's why men are the prize, though. I want to ask them now. Oh no, I wanted to go back to like the chasing and not chasing thing. The reason why like chasing for a woman is natural and like why y'all are actually supposed to be doing it is because we shouldn't be ever chasing your validation. Women should always be chasing a man's validation. Because if I'm chasing your validation, then what the fuck am I doing every day? I'm not working. I'm not sitting there becoming the best man I could be. I'm not going to become the greatest man possible. Your man should never be chasing a woman's validation because he'll never be on his true purpose as a man. Whereas a woman, if she wants to have kids, if she wants to have a family, if she wants to have all those things, she's going to be chasing the validation of a very high quality man.
I think the moment that you are seeking or chasing validation from any other human, especially a potential partner, that is when it's an immediate red flag and you should not be in a relationship. Because if anyone's like giving you validation or approval of any type of sorts, like fueling even that delusion, then that is a red flag on you personally and you should not be in a relationship.
You think that people don't chase each other even within the bounds of relationships? Like you don't think that sometimes even in the bounds of a relationship that sometimes the woman is pursuing the man more or the man is pursuing the woman more?
I mean, I think instinctually, like men, you know, there's that hunting nature where they see a woman, they're like, I'm gonna go get her. Like when a man wants you, like truly wants to be in your life, he will come get you.
That is a man following his animal instincts that doesn't even have fully control of himself. Because a man that has good self-esteem and has
Not
good
sexual.
self-respect,
Not sexually.
no, even to pursue a woman, even to just pursue, I'm telling you. Because a guy who is truly confident doesn't give a shit about any woman or anything like that. He's so on his purpose. He's so on his shit. He realizes the best woman that's gonna be in his life is a woman that comes to him. The best type of relationships for a guy are relationships where the woman comes to him and she's really fucking down for him. It's never a good relationship for a man whenever you're the one that is like simping for her. You're the one that's sitting there trying to make her happy and trying to do it and chasing her and stuff. She will drag you along, make you take her on 2-3 days, make you go wait for months before you'll be taken seriously by her. And that's never the best case for a man. That is the best case for a woman, but it's not the best case for a man.
It's giving traumatized. It's giving traumatized because that's just, I mean, because I mean, your cup should be full on both parts. I believe because I don't really believe in like, oh, you're the breadwinner, I do the cooking. Like kids, the whole everyone just it's society expects you to have these roles, and both of you should be going and getting your bag, living your own individual purpose, having your cup full to the max, so that if you both love yourself so much and are so rich in self love that you just fuel into each other, and that's whenever you create a spiritual connection and your heart is so open and thrown off, like no ego aside, and when you're both just like fueling yourself, you can't help but fuel into each other.
You have like this really crazy assumption where like if one person is like the 51% and one's the 49%, that means that like the 49% is getting like screwed over. And it's not that. It's just one person drives the car. Like I'm just telling you there can only be one leader. Like it's that simple. And like at the end of the day, you want a guy that's stronger, faster, stronger, leader. Like that's what all women want. Y'all don't want somebody that's smaller, weaker, slower than you. Like you don't want that. So whenever we sit here and we talk about these things, like the whole blank slateism, like, oh, we're equal, we're the same. That actually comes from trauma. That actually completely comes from trauma. Women that actually want things to be equal, it's because usually, shout Seven Peaks, it's usually because they've gone through so much trauma, or they went through trauma with one guy that they fully devoted themselves to. There was one person sometime in your past, maybe not you, just saying in general, that the woman gave herself fully to, and she was so devoted to him, she was like, you know what? That fucking hurt. He wasn't ready because he was too young. She was young and she was ready, but he wasn't ready. And since he left and ran away and broke her heart, she's like, you know what? I'm never devoting myself like that again. I'm never going 100% in like that again because it fucks me over and it hurts. And every time after that, you'll always look for somebody that is an equal or less than you, because at that state, you can always walk away or you can always leave, and it's not going to hurt like it did that one time. And these relationships never work because either the guy is going to feel disrespected at a certain point and cheat, or she doesn't respect him and she'll end up cheating because she never respected him in the first place. Those relationships never last. And that's why, like, I really, one of the biggest talking points that we talk about on the show is the equal relationships thing, because there's no such thing as equality. There's no equality in this world. There's no such thing as, and we can't make things equal either. Men are the enforcers of equality. Say like feminism, whatever, women get to the point where y'all are just have full control over votes and it's all types of stuff. Whatever y'all so choose, you still have to have men to enforce it, a police force, an army, or whatever. So look back to thousands of years, whatever it is, it always takes male enforcement for any of these things to ever come into play. So at the end of the day, like, men are always going to be empowered. The society is sexist. That's how everything is. And we're just living in a dream world whenever we try to cope with it and try to make it equal. It's not, it's never going to be equal.
Thoughts on that?
No, she doesn't.
You want to take that?
I mean, I agree. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean.
So I did have a follow-up question. This is actually for both of the ladies. So what I last heard in that last part was if a man really wants a woman, he should chase it. Would you give that advice to the 51% of men? Like, say, if he wants a woman, go ahead and chase it.
No.
Would you give that advice? No? Okay. Nikki?
Wait, repeat that last part one more time.
If a man really wants a woman, he should chase after her.
Like, if you had a brother and he was asking you for
Would you-
advice, and you'd be like, oh, chase her. Like go and.
Would you
and-
tell 51% of men out
The
there in
average
this
man.
world to go out there and chase with the woman that he really wants?
I mean, yeah, if you want, I mean, it's worth the risk. Like, if a girl gives you the time of day, like, you have a chance. You know what I mean? Like, girls don't just give guys like time and energy out of their day if they're not somewhat interested. So if you're getting, you know what I mean? Like, it's worth the risk. Just go
So-
for who you want and like go get her.
What about the women that like literally give out their numbers all the time and do certain things just out of fear? Because it's actually very dangerous to be a woman. It's very dangerous. So sometimes you give your number out, sometimes you give your Instagram out, and it's not because you want to give it to that person. It's because it's scary. Like, you don't know if that person's going to hurt you or something like that. Women do that all the time, constantly give out stuff or act like they're going to do certain things. And I understand why. Because you never know if that guy's gonna slap you or like say like, oh, you're a bitch, or like say something rude to you just because you reject him. A lot of women have a high fear of rejection, and it makes it to where they automatically do certain things. And that doesn't mean, so like, if you have a guy just sitting there chasing all these girls, there's a lot of girls that are gonna waste his time. Like, there's no reason for a guy to ever chase because he's literally just giving out his money, energy, attention, and time and getting nothing in return. Now, don't get me wrong. You should initially try to hit on a girl sometimes. Like, initially be like, oh, would you like to go on a date? But as soon as she rejects you, like, my number one rule is as soon as she says no, it's just like, okay, bye. And you're a friend, or not bye, like I hate you, but I friend zone girls. Like, my big thing is, oh, what's up, best friend? Now, knuckle. We're best friends now. Because obviously this is nothing sexual, right?
I feel like it shouldn't be like even friend zone because like your intentions were to like see where things go, like relationship wise.
Y'all, well, guys are different than women, whereas like we will kind of shoot our shot with like anything that is pretty. Okay, so since guys are that way, and because y'all don't have to do that, that's not y'all's job to sit there and pursue. It's y'all's job to advertise yourself, put yourself in the good position or a good place, dress nice, put makeup on, do whatever to make yourself in the right place. But say like he goes and he tries, and you but like say like he's a pursuer and then you reject him. Like, he should never try more than just that one instance, because if he's trying more than that one instance, he's just simping. Every moment after that, her saying no is just simping. And then if he friend zones her, it makes it to where he instantly turns her into an asset to get other girls from. When you friend zone a girl that already rejected you, like, even if you had like I said, we'll have sex with anything sometimes like that. So he might have said he wanted to go on a date or whatever like that. But if it's nothing, it's nothing, because we've done this hundreds of times or whatever. But that person turning her into an asset and turning into her friends means that her friends, like, you have access to her friend group now. Like, she if you're a really good friend, she might want to hook you up with one of her friends.
Yeah, that makes
so it's
sense.
way better to be just friend zone a girl that doesn't want to date you or doesn't want to go on a date. It's fine. That's fine. Let's just become best friends. I'm totally down with that. I don't think it's ever okay for a guy to sit there and like get pissed off about
But
fucking something
some
like that.
dudes, like if a female is okay with like being friend zone or whatever, sometimes they'll use that to like continue to simp.
Yeah, so it depends
they
how
don't get
smart
it.
he is. Like, if
Yeah.
a guy's really smart, he's not gonna like take it excessively, or he'll notice that she's trying to finesse him out of other shit. And I'm like, oh, this is just a girl that's acting like my friend, but she doesn't really want to be my friend, you know? So
Mhm.
yeah, it doesn't always work out 1,000%. You can't friend
Yeah.
zone every girl. What's also funny though is sometimes you friend zone a girl, and she's like, this motherfucker, like, I liked him actually a little bit. I can't believe you did that. And then it like makes them completely change their whole thing because they're like, damn, he's really about to like not take me seriously if I don't do that. So it's a good way to see, like, check them and be like, oh wait, are you sure? Are you
Mhm.
sure you don't like me? Okay, then cool, best friend. Um, the next one I wanted to bring up was hmm, selflessness and selfishness. Who do y'all think is like, which energy do you think is one or the other? Like, which energy is more selfless and which one is more selfish? Would y'all say masculinity or femininity? Which one?
I feel like masculinity is more selfish.
And you think femininity would be more selfless?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't quite understand the question. I don't think
Like, which one of the sexes would you say, on a general average, is more, or it's more in their masculine energy? Like, what is it? Is it feminine energy for a woman to be selfish, or is it in her feminine energy to be selfless? And is a man in his masculine energy when he's selfish, or is he in his masculine energy when he's selfless?
I mean, I think either or.
You think it's equal?
I do. I don't think selfishness, if there is, because being selfless is like putting yourself first, keeping your cup full, all of that good stuff. But the
Mhm.
moment that you are being, that is ego, and the moment that you have that selfishness involved in that dynamic with what, masculine, feminine energy, then you're technically not
Do you think
actually.
selfishness is bad? Like, the
Um,
way you just described it just comes off like really bad, you know?
it gets. I just feel like, I mean, you can make it a positive thing, being selfish, like with your time. I do think it's equal. I think both divine, like feminine and masculine energy, can have. You have to be selfish to a certain extent and put
Why would a
yourself
woman
first.
ever need to be selfish for her to be in her femininity? Like, give me one instance where a woman's being really feminine and also being selfish.
Like with your time, if you want to be selfish with your time and put your sleep schedule first and be like, no, I'm not going out tonight, or
I guess that's
you
feminine to
know.
sleep in and shit, guys.
No, I mean, like if you want to go to sleep early and get up at 5 and like go to the gym and like get your gains in, then you're gonna be like, no, sorry, I can't go out tonight. I gotta get up in
And
8
that's
hours.
and you think all that right there that you just described is like feminine energy?
I think it's equal. I don't think it has. I don't think that subject with selfish or selflessness has anything to do with gender or like feminine or masculine energy. It's
Yeah.
just human.
Yeah, no, I bet. But here's the issue. You should read this really good book by Ayn Rand called Atlas Shrugged. And like, she talks about objectivism. You can also read Fountainhead. Like, um these books, like, the whole point of what she taught was that, selfishness isn't actually a bad thing. Like, selfishness is actually a very good thing for capitalism, for the whole world of how everything is set up. Like, it's all based off of people being selfish. You have to put your mask on first before you can put the other person's mask on the plane. So selfishness is actually an extremely strong trait, but it's an extremely masculine trait, because men need to be selfish to go and take over the world. I need to want to fuck over that other guy that I'm trying to make money off of for me to be able to fucking feed my family and feed my kids. Selfishness is an extremely strong trait, but it is only good for the masculine side. And it's fine. A woman can be in her masculinity and be selfish, but it's not going to be good for the dynamic of a relationship unless it's the opposite, where you're the masculine one, he's the feminine one. But for the most part, the guy needs to always be super masculine and super like the type where he's always focusing on himself, because the more he focuses on himself and building a good business or building, good things for him and his family, the better that y'all are going to be. Whereas a woman has to be hyper selfless, willing to be a servant to her man, willing to take care of children, willing to take care of elderly. All these type of things are very selfless things. Oh, there's a reason why women are mostly teachers and nurses. It's not because y'all want to, because we look at the most equal countries in the world, in Scandinavian countries, it's the same way there. Even in the most equal opportunity place where all the women and men are equal as hell, women still choose certain jobs. There's definitely like real proof that women are way more selfless, and when they are selfless, you're in your true femininity, because that's what you were meant to do the most. When a guy is truly selfish, it's because he's trying to get as much as he can to provide for his family. one of the things that we talk about along the show is guys were providers for hundreds of thousands of years, like hundreds of thousands. Okay, that's hardwired. We've only had the dollar for like 100, 150 years. Like we live in this world because you're like, oh no, we can make some. Okay, this is all new inventions. Okay, like we have been around for 300,000 years as Homo erectus. Like we have, our brains are hardwired. Like we cannot just fight against things that have been in us forever, DNA. And the problem is that we have all these issues today because of money, because of all the free market economy, and women thinking, oh, if I have money, you can provide for yourself. But for thousands of years, you relied on a man to be a provider and a protector. Now y'all can protect yourself. You can buy your own Glock if you want. You can also provide for yourself. You can pay your own rent if you want. You can fully take care of you and your own kids and everything. So because of that, that's why all this stuff is like kind of real, honestly, really triggering to you, because you're just like, no, this goes against everything that I've been raised as and who I am. But it's like, yeah, but science and the way our natural biology is the truth. That's the real truth of how we really are and how we really feel. Like, since I'm supposed to always be a provider, that makes men very insecure today, because that's what we always were. There's a reason why we like women that don't sleep around. There's all these reasons why we like certain things and we don't like certain things. And there's a reason why you like certain things. There's reasons why you don't like other things. And we have different mating strategies. Your short-term mating strategy isn't the same as mine. Your short-term mating strategy is the best quality man, whether that's height, dick size, like whatever. Like, if you're gonna sleep with somebody on 1 or 2 nights, he's not gonna be the ugly short virgin dude that lives in his mom's basement. It's gonna be the guy that is of a certain caliber that deserves something, or that you consider worthy of something like that. Your long-term mating strategy ain't the same. Your long-term mate is somebody that's not gonna run away after you get pregnant by him. He's might be shorter, might be a little more chubbier, might be a little bit more feminine and cool to hang out with, and like the type of person that you would like to want to raise a child with. And that's fine. That's a good long-term main strategy for you, so he doesn't run away in the long run. My short-term main strategy as a man is, a lot of men will fuck anything. I'm not one of those guys, but most guys will fuck anything. They will fuck a guy that's a 10 will fuck a girl that's a 3. And then, so like, men and women are not the same in short term. And then in long term, we're not the same either. We don't want that girl that was the hoe for our long term. We want the girl that's a virgin or low body count or young. So we'll fuck anything over here, but for long term, for marriage, oh no, we want something different. So that's what a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about, it all goes back to evolutionary psychology. It all goes back to Dr. David Buss's book, Evolution of Desire, Marty Hazelton's book, Hormonal. All this stuff it's just biology. It's not to like sit here and like say that you're wrong and that, blank slate and like equality and all that is stupid or anything. It's just that those things like can work, but only on a bounds of exception. Because for the most part, a majority of people are moving like we're animals still. Like, especially today with the internet and how we are sexually and stuff, nobody's living in a good religious society anymore and moving with morals. We're all moving like we're animals, literally, like we're a bunch of monkeys fucking each other right now. But no, so another one. So which one would y'all say is more feminine and which one is more masculine for this? Communal versus hierarchical. Like communal, like we bring everything together and it's all equal, or like hierarchy. Which one would you say is more masculine? Which one's more feminine?
Communal would be more feminine, in my opinion.
You like to give out trophies to everybody, even though they suck?
I mean, like soccer mom, so
Yeah.
I just instantly thought of soccer
Yeah.
mom.
And then, like, why do you think guys are hierarchical, though? Like, give me an example of where guys build hierarchies.
Work life?
Work life, just
Yeah.
how all business is, how all
Pretty
the free
much.
market economy works. What about you? What do you think?
You mean about?
Like, would you say like one is more feminine and one is more masculine between being communal or being a hierarchical society?
No.
You think they're both like the same once again?
I do. I think it depends on the situation, but it's okay to have different opinions. It's all right.
Of course, of course. What about communism versus capitalism? Do y'all think that women are more feminine if they support capitalism or if they support communism?
I don't have a comment if you want to take that one.
I feel like it'd be more feminine to support communism.
Yeah, because it's the whole communal thing. It's like you were saying, I don't think it is anything. It's actually extremely, extremely sexual. Like, women are extremely communal. Like, extreme. Like, you want to know why where the left is pushing as hard as it is for all the equality and all the different things, that's all women. That's not men pushing all that shit. That's women that want equality across the board and all this shit. That is a very feminine trait. If a guy is sitting there at like 25 years old and he's like, man, fuck this system. Like, we need to all just be making the same checks, and like communism is so much better because everything would be fair then. We would all have the same things. That is feminine as hell. Like, that is not masculine at all. A masculine man is like, capitalism, I can go create better things than this guy. I can go invent something better than this dude. Oh, I can like build a whole business and go and take over the world and compete with all these other people. That is masculine as hell. Like, it's a very masculine trait to compete. We are competitors. Y'all didn't have to compete for most of your life. It literally wasn't in your DNA to sit there and compete all day, every day for anything. Men have always competed. I got bigger antlers than yours. Look at my fucking deer. Way bigger than your deer, you fucking loser. Like, we have always competed. That is how men work in hierarchies. Like, but women are never like that. Y'all are always communal. You always want everything equal and split across the board. Let me preface a lot of, or like, a lot of the stuff that I'm saying here. There's nothing wrong with women having feminine qualities and men having masculine qualities and then playing those roles, because the whole point of them is for it to come together into a perfect mix. There's nothing wrong with these type of things. And a lot of people sometimes like think it's wrong for like a guy to act feminine or a woman to act masculine. And it's not that it's wrong, it's just what's efficient, what is best, and we were biologically designed to do the easiest. You can go against your biology all day long and it works. I've seen tons of people go against their biology and it works. There's guys chopping their dicks off right now. Like, obviously you can go against your biology and you'll still be alive. Duh, nobody's arguing against that. But what is the most efficient thing for a couple, or the most efficient thing for men and women coming together? It's working in our energies perfectly and not sitting there fighting against them. And it's just scary though, because we push so hard against this shit. Like, we push so hard today against men being masculine or wanting to be mostly in their masculine energy, and we push really hard against women too for trying to be super feminine. Like, I just saw a video the other day of a woman that was sitting there giving TradCon info like on how to be like a perfect housewife, and just because this girl had like big boobs, like the comments were destroying her. And it's just like, how can you be saying this when you, and she wasn't even like, she was very respectful to her husband. Her boobs were fully covered, bro. Like, she was looking like a perfect TradCon wife, like a good home wife and stuff. And all these comments were all these people just like, you're not even that, you're a piece of shit. Like, women shouldn't be doing this. Like, why are you trying to put women into the kitchen? Like, blah, blah, blah. Women shame women so hard for trying to just be in their femininity today. It's crazy. And like I said, this girl was covering herself. It was really crazy. I couldn't, some of the comments on social media are wild
Was
sometimes.
it on TikTok?
It was. That's
Yeah.
why though, right? Because
Yeah.
it's all younger people on TikTok.
I feel like it's a bunch of younger people on TikTok, and then more so, I don't even know what to call, like, I guess new age people. And I only say that because of just like the reactions of certain videos. So for like,
Are you posting like your content on TikTok, like for your Forex stuff? Like, is
yeah,
there good business on there for financials, or is it mostly just entertainment, you think?
I feel like you have to have like a really intriguing product or like a really good service. I started running ads on it a couple weeks ago, and I got a lot of clientele from it. But as far as me just posting regular, I have about 4,500 followers on TikTok, and it's not bad, but like TikTok ads, they work. So
They do work.
yeah.
I haven't actually touched any TikTok ads. I don't trust TikTok. China, I'm telling y'all, man, they're trying to take over. Communists. So see, this one is, I know this one. I'll probably kind of agree with y'all on this one if y'all push back on me, honestly. But like, so I have this heavy belief that no, I'll actually ask y'all, who do y'all think should work more? Who do you think is the person that should be working the most? Like, I'm not saying who works the most today, because if we said that, it'd be probably a whole different story. But who should be working the most in a household between a man and woman?
In a household.
Like, putting in hours of physical labor, I'm talking. And I want you to imagine everything, like women having kids, like all, cooking, cleaning, all that stuff. Who do you think should be putting in more physical labor?
That it's tough. It's for me. It's like that 40, 41, 59, or however.
It's
the number
49,
is.
51, you
Yeah.
think? It's very close on that one. Yeah, and these are going to be very close on some,
But
for
I
sure.
feel like it the men should work more just so that they can provide, and then the female, or he takes it home to the female, and then she can do what she needs to do.
No, yeah. What do you think? Do you think one person should be more working harder than the other?
I mean, I don't think like the whole cooking, cleaning, having kids. I'm not having kids. I'm never having children. I'm not gonna create life. It's not.
Oh, fuck them kids.
Yeah, fuck those kids. Not doing it. So I mean, I see in my future me and my partner, like my man, like just grinding and bringing in as much, fortune, if you will, as we can as a unit, and then just like celebrating and basking in it and doing as much good as we can, and just
Like
like
just like donating everything and stuff. Like what are you gonna do when y'all die? I mean, you amass this amazing fortune. Like what do you
So
do?
morbid.
I want to be an auntie, like I really want. I know he's not ready, but like I'm ready for my brother to have kids, and I have a sister, so
You'll like leave it to them probably.
I'll leave it to charities. I'll leave it to whatever family that I have living. I never really thought about that, but yeah, I mean, I would do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is there a specific reason on the kids thing?
I mean, I'm claustrophobic. I don't ever want to physically bear children. It sounds terrible. I think society has normalized having children, and it takes up so much of your energy. Being in
What do you
America,
mean normalized it? It's always been normal.
yeah, it's crazy. You are growing a whole human in your body, and no, like you don't, like girl, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, and that becomes like your purpose. I feel like to be a good mother, father, you have to be completely selfless. You are giving so much of your energy to that child, and I think it's okay to be selfish and like live your life for you. And I mean, I would never say never. Like, if I feel like one day like I think I want to do this, then I'll do it. But I don't
Before 35.
I just don't see like that ever. It just being in a marriage is already hard enough, and like pursuing your passions and your career, and to add like a child into that mix. I worked at a mall for a lot of years, and like you just see those kids like running around
You
screaming.
got turned off real quick from all that,
I'm
huh?
just like there's not. I just don't feel like that calling like that. I would rather just leave like a legend, like leave
A legacy?
a legacy. Yes, thank
Legacy is your family, though. Like, what do you mean?
you. I just don't resonate with that. I see.
Like your
Like
legacy is gonna
art.
be a book. Like, yeah, you're gonna do some art. Like, yeah, that's why I was about to ask you. Because you kind of said you're like, a lot of women think it's like their purpose or something. Like, what is like if that's not your purpose, like what is your purpose? Like what is the thing that like because you're bringing up other things, like you want to be able to travel or you want to be selfish and be able to do certain things. So it's just like, what is, or like start certain careers or business and stuff like that. So what is your purpose? Is there like a business that you want to build? Is there like what's the goal? Like it sounds like you know what your purpose is.
Um, I mean, I'm going to travel the world, and I'm going to create music and whatever's in my mind, like the sound that I want to put out there, I'm going to do that. And then with that platform, I'm going to spread awareness to uplift men and women and spread kindness throughout the whole world.
That's your purpose? Like with music, just spreading kindness with music?
I mean, it's not that I'm just using music to like get a platform and be able to do that, but it's definitely like I love making music, so to be able to have a platform, I feel like it would be absolutely ridiculous to have a platform and not have like a good cause behind it,
Mhm.
and be able to like speak up for people that can't speak for themselves.
Do you ever get anxiety?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mental health is real.
Yeah. So like anxiety comes from worrying about the future, right?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then and depression comes from worrying about the past, correct?
Yeah. Today is the yesterday, or what is it?
What? No, I don't understand.
What is it? Today is the tomorrow you were so worried about yesterday.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it. But no, so like we're saying, you said you have immense anxiety, and I can kind of like see that with you, or like I don't know, I can just feel that. And like the thing is, so like for me as a guy personally, if I get to like 50, 60 years old, saying like, say I never built anything, like say like I never made this podcast, I just worked a 9 to 5 job every day, and I just did nothing with my life, I would feel like shit at 50, 60 because as a man, like I was put on this planet to create things. That's what I was meant to do. That's my purpose. Like whether that's biologically, morally, or naturally, that's my purpose is to create things. That's what gives me value to. Or that's what how I give value to other men. That's how I give enough value to have a family and kids or whatever. It all goes back to creating things because that's what men do. But for a woman, like if a woman gets like 40, 50 years old, and if we look right now at the demographic of the saddest women or the saddest demographic of people, it's 40 and up women. The people on most antidepressants, 45 and up women, single women. And when we look at these things, we start to notice that the depression and the rates that they're at and the reason why they're all on all these drugs and stuff is because if you don't live within your purpose as a woman and you make it to 40, 50 years old, then you will be depressed. And the sad thing is that for most women, their purpose is in children because having a child is something I can't do. I can't push a child out of my butthole. Now, like y'all can definitely push a child out because that's what you were literally naturally biologically designed by God to do. And so y'all's purpose is usually children. And like I understand like you want to travel and you want to do all this stuff, but I always like to ask people at the end of the day, like why are you who you are? Like if I was born in India, I would have been a Hindu. Like you're not who you think you always are sometimes. Sometimes you are only who you are because you were born in a certain environment. Your environment is your destiny. And especially for women. And it's just like when you say those things like you want to travel, you want to do these things, I just hope that you think about why you have those opinions. Is it because a lot of people on Instagram over the last 2 decades have been traveling like crazy and posting it all over the internet to where we all want to do this? Or is that because that is truly in your purpose of what the best thing is for you to do, what's going to make you the most happy?
I think it brings joy, and like you said, like about environment, it takes a lot of courage to look at your environment that you were born in and be like, I don't that doesn't have to be me. You are who you choose to be, and you can take a look at your past and where you were brought up and be like, yeah, I don't resonate with that and I don't have to choose that and I get to create whatever reality and break the simulation and be whoever I want to be. Like tomorrow I can make it whatever I want to, and just because my mom or my dad was like that or they ended up having kids, like you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And just because that's what like the bloodline, whatever, like the past says, you can just be like, hey, flip the script. I get to do like what I want.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to like the selfishness thing because what's crazy is like you had lineage for thousands of years that literally went through hell. I'm talking hell. We think it's hell outside right now with this heat and shit. We're talking about families, like people in our past, great great grandparents, great great grandfathers, that literally went through way more hell than we'll ever fucking see in our lives. And they fought through it and kept having kids and kept pushing. So then you could sit here on this panel right now and say right now that that line is going to die with you. All that sacrifice, all that trouble, all that shit that your bloodline did to get to the point where you're alive right now in this privileged society, fuck that. Fuck all of them. Fuck their sacrifices. Fuck everything that they did. And that's just the way that, like, whenever I hear somebody say something like that, it's just like, screw everybody from the past. But at the end of the day, it is your choice. But one of the big things I like to bring up is like a big problem with everybody today. And this is everyone, not women, they're not just women or not just men. This is everyone. We all need to forgive our mother, forgive our father, and forgive ourselves. And when you do that, you truly move in your own path. A lot of people today are moving because they're hurt, because their mother or their father hurt them, and they have not truly forgiven them. When you truly, truly forgive your parents, that's whenever you really come past your traumas. But I would say 99% of people are not moving past their traumas. They're not moving in their true purpose because I mean, I understand it. If I was an 8-year-old girl and my uncle touched me or some crazy shit happened, okay, and it makes me hypersexual. It makes it to where I can't take relationship. I don't trust men, or it makes me hate men, or whatever it is. I completely understand why women end up in search or being like, I'm never going to have kids or I'm never going to do this. I would be the same way. But at the end of the day, you have to forgive your father for not being able to protect you against that uncle because maybe he ran away or he wasn't the father that he was supposed to be or whatever. You got to protect your mother and say, you know what? I understand like she was probably scared to say anything because the same thing happened to her from her father or from her uncle or something. And it's like, you have to forgive them and say, you know what, like that bad thing happened to me when I was young, but that wasn't their fault.
Well, yeah, because let's say, like, I did have kids. I'm just a human, and whenever you look at your parents, like, hey, they were once like my age at some point. They are, like, people make mistakes, and having like a perfect parent is not realistic. So, a part of forgiving the people in the past, whether it's your parents, teachers, mentors, sometimes you have to look at them like, hey, they were doing the best with what they had, the tools that they had.
Absolutely, man. And it's only getting easier and easier for our generation, but the past generations really had to deal with a lot. And what's crazy is like a lot of the men today are dealing with like the problems that our fathers and grandfathers did. Like, say, like the men of previous generations hurt certain women. It's like the men of this generation are the ones that are getting the heat for it. Like it's all generational trauma that always ends up on the most futuristic man. And then next thing you know, the cycle continues because that guy's berated or treated like shit by a woman that was raised by an abusive male in some way. It's really crazy how it all ends up on the backs of like the men of today, I feel like. Um, I was asking like the hard work versus like who shouldn't have to do the most hard work. And I really have a strong belief that guys, since we're bigger, faster, stronger, we're the leaders, we're always supposed to do more. Like we're always supposed to do more. I don't care if he worked 8-10 hours and he came home, he shouldn't complain if his girl's like, hey, I want you to do this too, if you could please. Like if she says it nicely, it's like, yeah, baby, I got you, I'll take care of that like right now. Because we've always been the leaders. A leader doesn't lead from pulling from the front. A leader pulls or is the best from pushing from the back. So like a real man that is a real leader, he's not going to be a little bitch and complain and be like, oh no, baby, I'm tired. I want to. Imagine if I came home from like my little job. I'm not gonna say little job. Say it was a hard construction job, but say like I come home from this job and you're cooking dinner. You've done everything. Like the dinner's almost ready. It's almost and then like right before the dinner's ready, she's like, hey babe, could you please just take the trash out real quick so I can throw some more stuff in there? It's like I'm not gonna be like, I just got off work, bitch. I've been working my ass off all day. Like, how are you gonna tell me to do something soon? Like, no, that's feminine. Like, he should just be like, yeah, baby, I got you. I'm gonna take this out real quick, and you just cook this amazing dinner. I can't wait to sit down and eat it. Like like guys should always be okay with working more. Like, yes, bro, you're gonna have to mow the lawn. Yes, bro, you're gonna work a full time job while doing that too. Like, yes, bro, you're gonna have to do a lot of shit. But like, y'all have a lot of physical labor too. Like taking care of the kid. Like, he shouldn't just sit there and be like, I'm not helping you with the kids at all. I don't believe that at all. At all. I think that like sometimes you should help your woman with the kid. Like you should be prepared to do more work at all times as a man. If you're ever like, no, tit for tat, it's not fair. I've done more than you today. No, it's feminine to me. It's just like, no, bro. Like you need to suck it up and just be a man.
Like keeping count is
Yes, it's keeping count. It's literally tit for tat, and it's just like, no, we're not playing tit for tat. And at the end of the day, if you have a woman that's really down for you, she's not playing tit for tat with you. If she's sitting there constantly doing everything for you, not complaining when the kid is crying, doing all this stuff all the time, why are you going to sit there and act like like you have a woman working her ass off too? It doesn't make sense. I'm okay with her though being like, I have not slept in days. Like, watch the kid for an hour. Okay, baby, go to sleep. I got you. Like, don't worry. It's not that bad. Um. Uh. Oh, this one's a funny one. Do y'all think that who can be gay and still be straight at the same time?
Nigga, you gay.
Which one of the sexes would y'all say it's more masculine or feminine to, be able to be bisexual, basically?
Well, ask it one more time.
If
Let me just
basically, can a guy like which one? Like basically, I'm saying it's super feminine to do one or the other. Like, or it's super feminine or it's super masculine to be bisexual. Which one is it? Is it super masculine or is it super feminine to be bisexual?
I feel I feel like it's I feel like it's more feminine, but then again, you were saying like the ratios and like the efficiency or whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess it's more feminine.
Yeah. What do you think?
EDM, I'm with the plur, and I'm still gonna stick with the narrative I've gone with about equality, and I see how I feel like that's a lot to put on. I feel like lesbians, women that are bisexual are pretty sexualized, and it's more of like a cute thing, like, oh, she's bi, so like it's okay. It's okay for guys to be bi too.
Yeah. So if your boyfriend came out right now, and he was like, "Hey, just so you know, babe, like I like guys," like you would totally be okay with it?
I mean, we have had a conversation that we are in a monogamous relationship. So as long as, it's just us and we are continuing to be in a monogamous relationship, then I don't judge him for his preferences. As long as there's no cheating or like unfaithfulness going on, then I would want him to do the same.
You want to get married, right?
Um,
Maybe one day.
maybe one day if it like aligns and that feels right, then yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, it's a piece of paper. It really doesn't matter, but that'd be nice.
So like, but like this guy for like the long term. Say like y'all dated or y'all date for like another like 3-4 years, and you do want to get married. Like you're at this point where you're just like, oh, I really love you. Like I really want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you know what, babe, I really want to get married, but I'm gonna be honest with you about my past. I'm not gonna sit there and lie about like I've lied for 3 years about this kind of or hid it from you, but I'm not gonna do this anymore. To be honest, when I was 21 years old, I was a gay porn star. And I slept with well over 200 men, did gangbangs, I did all of it. It's not who I am anymore, though. This was over a decade ago, babe. It's not me anymore, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Would that cause any type of distrust with you before the marriage, or would you not care at all?
I mean, I think it's in the past. I don't think
It's not a big deal.
I don't. It doesn't really like trigger anything in me or like put me in like a fight or flight or like ick kind of mode. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
doesn't give you the ick.
I feel like everyone has a past and it's pretty outlandish. Like it's a stretch. It's a stretch. That'd be like I guess worst case scenario.
Yeah. That was the whole point of the exercise.
I mean, like who they are today is like who I choose. Like I don't think you should date for potential or date someone for their past or like whenever judgment and all of that comes into play, like that's not unconditional love.
Wait, so let me ask you a question. So like the scenario he used, so like if they told you that, you'd just be like, "Oh, thanks for telling me."
I would have some questions. I would definitely have some questions I would want to ask, but
like what? Like that's what I'm curious about. Like what kind of questions?
Did it pay well? Like what? I don't know. I just more like kind of like fun questions, but or like, are you still in touch with these men? Like,
why would you care if they're still in touch with them?
Is this something that I should be concerned about? Is this
But
relevant?
why would you have to be concerned about it if it's not? It's just gay. It's not a big deal.
No, like I would ask, like, is this something that you feel like I should be concerned about? Is this going to repeat itself?
And he's like, yeah, babe. I mean, I have urges, but I mean, it's just I'm not gonna do it. I have urges, but I'm not gonna do it. I promise.
I would say like I don't want to hold you back from exploring your full potential and what you want to do. So if not being with me, if this doesn't align with you anymore,
no. He wants to be with you though. He just has urges to he used to fuck men. He has urges to fuck guys. Like, is that okay or not? Like, yes, babe. I love you. I want to be only with you. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, babe. I did, and I still do. Kind of have urges. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I promise. I'm not gonna do it anymore. But I do have urges, man. I love some big dick.
I think I would just be like, I mean, I want to be with someone that like I want to be chosen. Like
you are chosen. He's not choosing the guys. You are chosen.
I don't know. That's a hard one. Like urges, we all have urges. Everybody has urges to do we have intrusive thoughts, like the
yeah. So it's no big deal. It should be no big deal then.
If it's not acted on, I really don't think the urges matter.
Okay.
I don't. I would be like, hey, I think you should think about this and think about what you really want.
But why does he need to do that? No, he wants to marry you. He just told you he wants to marry you. He's just being honest with you before the marriage because it's the right thing to be honest about stuff. But no, he really does love you.
I'm more concerned about this inner turbulence that he's experiencing, like these urges that he's fighting on a daily basis. I'm like, are you okay? Like, what's,
So yeah, so this is one of my favorite things that I like to bring up because you really stood. It's funny because you said player, like you're a rave girl, like. Look, I used to be the biggest rave dude. I'm talking the biggest. Like when I was 18, 19 years old, big time. Like big time. All the DJs, all the shit, okay? So I was just like you, super equal everything, like plur, like everything's equal. We're all the same, all this stuff. I used to be the exact same as you. But at the end of the day, women actually are biologically designed one way and men are biologically designed another way. And you have certain reactions. Like the reason why I kept saying, like calling out certain things is because I've heard this many times. You're not the first girl I've brought this up with. And if we look at studies, we can clearly see that women do not like it when a guy can have the option of other men because it's extremely risky. Say y'all do get married. Say you do have 2 kids down the line. and he ends up cheating on you with a dude and running off with that guy, your investment for the last decade or whatever so is gone. Y'all really give a fuck about your investment in a guy. So just like a man whore, you don't want to be with a man whore either who's sleeping around and getting a bunch of other girls pregnant because 100,000 years ago, you and your kid were about to die if you laid up with that type of dude. So that's why you really don't want a guy, honestly. Honestly, you wouldn't want a guy that's bisexual. But on the other side of the spectrum, guys totally want a girl that's a lesbian. Totally.
He could easily just like have urges and sleep with women. So I mean, both would be just as
No, but it's
bad.
way more detrimental for a man because it's way easier. The path of least resistance for him to get sex from a woman versus a man is completely different. Unless he's paying a hooker, completely different. He can literally download the Grinder app right now and go get his dick sucked from another dude right now. It's not even close to the same. So it's way more risky when a guy's actually bisexual. Way more risky for the woman. It's for a guy, it's not the same. Now, if she's an actual lesbian, then yeah, she might run off with that other girl. But I would say you weren't ever that guy in the first place then. But if a girl's acting lesbian and like you're that guy and she likes to do threesome stuff with you, man, you're like the shit to her probably, and that's why she's letting you do all that. Very rare. I want to know now. Which one would y'all say is more feminine and which one's more masculine? Being vulnerable.
That's easy.
What? Yeah.
I think whenever you're able to like, well, I mean, I think whenever you're able to be completely vulnerable with each other, that's like when you get to see more than just the visual, like the shell. You know what I mean?
The bullshit.
Yeah, like you get to see like someone's soul, like how they really feel about things. And vulnerability is not, that is a sign of strength and courage to be able to like open up to your partner without fear of judgment, without fear of all of that. So,
Would you say one person's better at that, like between men and women? Do you think one's better?
at being vulnerable?
Yeah.
I think men are starting to become more vulnerable, especially if they feel like safe doing so. I think they're just so used to being judged and like, hey, you have to, like, have you heard the quote, like, be a man, like, be a man about
Yeah, I've said it like 4 times already on the show.
Yeah, and I just don't think it's like a fair thing. It's like putting the whole child thing on women, like, be a woman. You're not like a woman if you don't have kids. Like, it's these societal standards that are pushed onto each gender that makes both of them feel like they can't be vulnerable.
Why see, this is what's so crazy about it sometimes. It's actually very opposite. Why do you think that's the societal standard?
I just think it's been that way. It's been accepted in the past for so long that we're just like, okay, that's what it is.
So it's all environmental. You're saying societal, so that would mean that it's like an environmental thing, correct? Like this is the only reason why we're saying this is because of the environment. It's societal. It's everybody else telling us that, right? That's what societal would be saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's just completely false. It's not society that's telling you that's the truth. It's a biology. It's literally your biology. You're denying science.
Do you cry to your like girlfriend? Like if you feel like, do you feel like you can be vulnerable?
Yeah, completely. But I'm not like most guys at all. Like I talk about a lot on this show. I am not like I went to therapy for a year, which I do not push on men. I have a cluster B disorder, so I'm in a position as a guy where I actually need to go do certain things. I actually kind of do need to cry more than some dudes, but it's not a good thing. It's because of trauma. It's because I went through a lot of bad stuff and I had nothing but women in my past, and they really taught me to be a little bitch my whole life, and it backfired. So like it's not always a good thing for guys to do that. I would argue most men shouldn't cry. Now, can some? Yeah, for sure. And it's something that you earn. It's not something that any dude can do. If a dude makes $40,000 a year and he's crying about something, his girlfriend's gonna treat him different than if he makes like $200,000 a year and he's crying about something. Because she's gonna think twice about judging him for being a little bitch. If he's like a provider, a really man. It's also about how big of a man he is. If he's really masculine 99% of the time, and then he cracks just one, he's watching a movie and there's like a. It's like a fucking like, or it's like one of those YouTube videos where like they're letting like the cerebral palsy kid like come and shoot. Like, yeah, I've cried at those videos before. Like, yeah, I've been like, damn, that's fucking dope that they let him on the court and do all like yeah, guys get emotional over different things, and like and I don't think that you should sit there and hold it back. But not all guys are that way. Some guys have so much testosterone run through their body they can't be vulnerable all the time. Like they're just hyper. Like I know a lot of guys that literally can't cry, and it's just because like they got good T levels. Like I don't have like super awesome T levels, so like I think that's why I'm like a little bit more of a bitch than some dudes probably sometimes. And it's just like it all goes back to that usually. But most guys have low T levels today, and most guys have high estrogen. So it's like I would say probably 80% of dudes, like if they're acting like little whiny bitches today, it's just their test levels. It's just their estrogen levels are really fucked up. They're literally everything in our food has plastics and all these estrogen boosters and stuff. So like guys end up literally becoming females by just living in our society for 10, 15 years. It sucks. uh no, the reason why I wanted to bring up like the vulnerability thing though is because like I also wanted to bring up that like y'all should be vulnerable because y'all are the vulnerable sex. So like women should always be vulnerable because we have to protect y'all. Like y'all are the ones that are the vulnerable. Like in all of nature for thousands of years, if we didn't protect you, you were vulnerable to all the to dying to all types of different shit. Men have always been disposable. We have always been the ones that can be thrown away. Say like me and you were married and or we're not married because we're cave. Let's say we're cave people like 100,000 years ago. We're not married, but like we made babies together, and I'm like 35 and you're like 25, and then next thing you know, I go to like kill a fucking lion or something, and that motherfucker eats me. It's like, well, fuck. Like the best thing for you to do is to go, like go get another guy. Like I'm disposable. I'm gone, but you need to go get another guy so then you can protect yourself because you're so vulnerable. So like guys have always been disposable of all of history. We've always been replaced very quickly. It's always been that way, and y'all have always been the extremely vulnerable sex that's protected, that we have to make sure survives. If y'all survive, then we're fine. Like if there's 10 women that survive in a war, and then just like one war general, that's fine. He can impregnate all 10 of y'all. But if fucking all the women die, and then there's like 10 warriors, it's like, what the fuck are y'all gonna do? Fuck this one woman? Like you're just gonna take forever to repopulate the community. It's gonna take forever for our village to grow again. We have to protect the women for the villages or anything to ever grow. It's always been that way. Oh yeah, this one's gonna be a little triggering. Who is more dark? Who's more evil of the sexes, men or women? Which one would you say just has this is darkness, as I call it?
I would say women, just because we're petty and it's like we have to have like the last word or like the last thing being done. And I feel like men, the more masculine ones are more so like shrug it off type.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I could see that. What do you think when it comes to that?
I mean, I think that you're like girls definitely do have a tendency to be more petty, and I mean, I guess it depends on, because I think men can be like in their feminine energy. Like I don't think it depends on just the sex. Like you can tap into
Yeah. You can tap into either side. All the things that we talked about, both sexes do very regularly. It's just a matter of which one's best for you.
dominant.
Yeah, which one's best for you though?
Mhm.
Which one is best for the world as well? Like what's the best for society as
Well,
well?
because have you ever seen like girls get in some beef and they will? I mean, I'm not all the time, but like 9 times out of 10, like go bad girls club and hold that grudge forever. Men can have like some beef and then just be like, okay, let's go get a pizza, and then like they're good. You know what I mean? Like they're okay. So I don't know if that answers your
I think it's really serious for guys because like when we got beef, bro, somebody might die over this shit, or like somebody might get their ass beat over this shit. So it's like sometimes it's really real. That's why like we joke so much, and like it's very rarely like super serious because it's just like when it's serious, it's fucking dangerous.
But
Like
I feel
men
like
are
that's with
dangerous.
females too, though.
I mean, y'all know. I mean, I've seen some crazy shit like girls getting ran over and shit over arguments, but like for the most part, bro, y'all are pretty sometimes cool about like just sitting there and like bickering at each other and just like hating each other online or something like that, whereas like guys like, bro, if I call out somebody on Twitter, like he might pull up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some ladies that will definitely pull up, but they might be a little masculine, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or no, actually no, I think they're very feminine to like fight over anything to just some bullshit. That's feminine as fuck to me. Like I would never fight a dude over some like little bullshit because it's like that's being like a little bitch. Like it's not that big of a deal, bro. Like, is this worth dying? Is this worth like fucking something horrible happening? No, not at all.
Yeah, just shrug it off.
Yeah. Whereas like, if a woman gets it, it's just like, oh, you're catfighting, it's cute, you know? No, but the reason why I was asking that is because like I have this really strong theory that like, oh, this is gonna sound bad, but women are just evil, man. Like y'all are just darkness. Like just the way I see it is like just like yin and yang. I think everything is yin and yang in society. Like as above is so below. And it's just like there's always going to be like light and dark. And since y'all are the ones who ate the fruit, like if we look back to the Bible, we look at to Adam and Eve. When women fall to temptation, when women bite from the tree of knowledge, when y'all go fuck the 6'5" dude with the big dick, When you go try those things that you've never, when you go to Dubai on the crazy trip and you go do, you eat the tree of knowledge, this crazy stuff that most guys would never have opportunity to, since y'all, y'all get that. There's a reason why y'all were the ones that are eating it, is because if y'all fall, we both fall. If you fall into temptation, I'm fucked too, because now I'm falling into the hedonistic cycle also of having sex before marriage and doing all those bad things. So whenever a woman is sitting there falling into her hedonism or falling into the tree of knowledge and doing these type of things, I think it's instant evil. I think it's instant falling into your animal instincts, instantly falling into nature, what nature wants. And as soon as you fall into those things, that's whenever you're evil. Like you're not in the light anymore. And since guys are closest to God, God was a man, like God is man.
Do you believe in God and
yes.
like him being like a man?
Yeah, 1,000%, 1,000%, yes. And that's why the Bible says God, man, woman, children. Like it specifically says that hierarchy for a reason. And it's because man talks to God. Man is directly under God. So yeah, man is the light, in my opinion. Now, can they be in the darkness? Can they be feminine? 1,000%. 1,000% that they can be in their darkness and be feminine. But I would say a man that is truly on his purpose, on his God-given purpose, that looks to God for everything, that man is truly in the light. And I would say a woman is truly in the light when she's in her hierarchical spot. He's looking to God and she's looking to him. So when it's working out perfectly in the hierarchy, that's the only time where she would be in her light. But like, look at Wiccans, look at the occult, look at witches, like everybody trying to get into all this type of stuff. There's a reason why it's mostly women that get into this type of shit. Y'all are evil as fuck. Y'all are like so consumed with darkness sometimes. That's just one of my theories, though. It's not. None of this is facts, guys. None of this is facts. This is how I feel. Wanting clout. What?
I was gonna say we had a question from one of our viewers here, where and I don't want to know if y'all wanted to address this.
Yeah, I do. Question for the ladies: do you want your boyfriend to be like your best friend? That's a man. A best friend that's a man.
No.
You don't want your boyfriend to be a best friend that's a man?
No.
Like for your boyfriend to be like your homie, like your best friend?
Yeah, we're like y'all hang out all the time.
Like I mean, I think
Right.
he's asking like if you have a male best friend, do you want your boyfriend to be like that man?
For the ladies, do you want your boyfriend to be like your best friend that's a man? I think, yeah, like
I feel like your homie. Like I think that's what they mean.
But yeah, well, I feel like what he's specifically asking is he wants to know, do you want your boyfriend to be like your best? Like if you had a best friend that was a guy, do you want your boyfriend to be like a replication of that?
I don't know about
like in how y'all hang out and how y'all do things and stuff.
I mean, I don't have a guy best friend, but I would want, there's balance. I don't want to always be around my man all the time. I need my time to like do my own thing and have like me time, my girl time with my family, my friends. But if my man is not like my homie, like if we cannot like laugh and be like laughing so hard that our stomachs are hurting and go do some like gremlin stuff together, then I don't want it. You know what I mean? If we can't get in our pajamas and go to the gas station like late at night and go get some like, you know what I mean?
Is that some friend stuff though? Like would you say that's something that you do with like a best friend that's a guy?
I would do that with one of my best friends.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you can do it with your man or your best friend, but for me personally, like if like I'm spilling the tea, I'll spill some tea to my man, but it's more so like if I had a guy best friend, like, I'd be telling him like, I don't know, it makes sense in my head, I promise.
Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm a little confused by it, but I kind of get what he's saying. It's just that I think that there is a clear difference of how you can treat a guy based off if he's like because I want to say for like my first couple of relationships where it wasn't in my frame, it was more in my girl's frame. It was kind of like just like it was kind of like we were just friends, bro. It was kind of weird that like kind of smashed every once in a while. It was kind of weird.
that chemistry, that passion, that connection has to be there. You can't just be like homies with your man. Like there has to be that balance of like, but we are like connected.
Yeah, and I would just argue though, like most guys, like in my situation when I was young, we end up in relationships with women where it's in her frame and she doesn't really like you. Like she's really with you just because like you're providing something for her in some way, shape, and form. But for the most part, like my first couple of relationships, they were completely in the frame of my girlfriends. Like it wasn't what I wanted, it wasn't the roles I ever wanted. It was whatever she wanted, she did, and it was never what I my opinion didn't matter at all. And that was because like most guys, when they don't have high self-esteem, when they don't have a lot of experience, they fall into relationships like that because you think it's normal. Society tells us that women can totally lead everything today. So if you're one of those guys that's like, I don't like you doing this or I don't like that, you're a bitch according to everybody else. Even though now that I'm older and I'm experience now and I have good self-esteem and I've earned a lot for myself, it's like, oh no, I was actually, a little bitch because I could have just told her, fuck off and get the fuck out of my apartment that I pay for, you know? But instead I was like, oh no, it's whatever. I want to keep having sex with you, so I'm not going to complain and cry about it. That's how most guys are. Like, they'll just shut their fucking mouth so they can keep getting easy pussy.
Well, a lot of people, I feel like you gotta just be yourself from the jump, because if you aren't, then like you can't let anyone like push you around. You have to just be yourself from the very beginning and like assert your boundaries, because then what if you bring up something that bothers you, or like bring in something new into the equation? Then it's like, well, that wasn't the story like when we first started talking.
It's all about who has more experience. Like, the problem today is women have immensely more experience than men at a young age. Like even you at 25, there's a chance that you have more experience than your 30-year-old boyfriend right now. And I'm saying everything, sexually, just everything, like just socially, like on all aspects. Usually women completely destroy men in those things, especially today with dating apps, stuff like that. So yeah, if I was a guy, with just a few body count and I'm dating girls with 12, 15, 20 bodies and stuff, they're going to run laps on me. They have all the ability. They know completely how to take advantage of sex, like use it against you. Like, come on, like that's why those relationships never work out in a woman's frame. Like, you should never be with a girl whenever she's fully in control and like she's completely, able to manipulate you in all types of ways. And most relationships end up that way today because guys are beta cucks. Guys are just happy to get a girlfriend 9 times out of 10. Most guys can't get pussy. So the second a girl's like, oh, I'll keep giving you regular pussy, they're like, okay, I'll do whatever you say, baby. And that's the sad reality of today for most men. Not all of them, but for most guys it is. I wanted to go back to my next one was wanting clout versus not wanting clout. Do y'all think that it is feminine or masculine to want clout, to want to be seen by everybody, to want, to be popular? Is that something that is more feminine or masculine, you would say?
I would say more feminine, just because, like you were saying, we're supposed to be advertisers, or we are the advertisers. I feel like the more masculine thing to do would be like, focusing on the hierarchy.
And don't even worry about what everybody's looking at?
Yeah.
All the bullshit? Yeah. No, what do you think is more feminine of those? Wanting clout or not wanting clout?
I don't know. I mean, guys have OnlyFans nowadays too. Like, guys are
Oh,
rock
yeah.
out with your clock out. You know what I mean? Like,
Do
so
you know what
it's
percentage of
really-
men have an OnlyFans that is porn OnlyFans?
No, I don't know.
I just looked up the other day, actually. It's like 2%.
Oh, like a lot less.
Yeah, like, so, but I'm just saying, like, that, but I hear that a lot, but that's a huge exception to the rule. Like, come on now, like, 2%? Like, most women are definitely, like, the ones that want the attention like that,
Mm.
Like, and if a guy's doing that, if he's 2%, I'd say he's pretty
He's
feminine
like in
compared
his
to all the
feminine
others. Yeah,
energy. Okay.
yeah, no. But like, the reason why I bring this one up is because I just really think that guys wanting to be seen is a problem. It's y'all's job to want to be seen because you have to advertise, like you just said. Like, you want to be seen. I can understand every time y'all do a gym pic or anything like that. It's like, oh yeah, I totally understand why she's doing this. Like, oh, bikini, another bikini photo on your profile. Okay, I understand why you're doing this. Yeah, I get it. I get it. But when I see guys do the same thing, I'm just like, oh, so you're trying to compete with the women, bro? Are you trying to just like did you see that ex like post that picture and now you're so mad you got to do it too now? It's like, bro, you realize she's gonna get way more dick than you're gonna get from your picture, right? Like the amount of pussy you're gonna get from your gym pic and the amount of dick that she's gonna get from her gym pic, she destroys you, bro. It's not the same. So guys today just be competing with women on all types of things. It's like, you shouldn't even be competing with that shit, bro. Like, focus on your fucking self and build yourself up. Fuck the clout. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It's about being real to yourself and being on your purpose as a guy. But yeah, for y'all, for sure, go get that clout, ladies.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Follow regarding that. So earlier in the show, Nikki, you had mentioned that it's a red flag to chase validation in reference to, anybody chasing validation. Would you say most women today are out doing that whenever they're on social media? It's just looking for validation?
Like women specifically, or just people?
Yeah, we could go with people. We start out with that.
I think social media is pretty fucked. Like, honestly, it's good for building business and like sharing whatever. It's really like what you make of it. Like, whatever you post, whatever you want to put out there, you get to like customize it, and it can be this cool thing. But it's pretty fucked. Like, a lot of people are insecure out here and are just chasing for people to be like, oh, I got like 10 likes. I turn my like count off. I'm like, I don't even want to know. Like, it just, I want to put whatever I want out there, and if they like it, I put it out there because I like it. And if y'all like it, that's cool. But it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I guess it does, like, to a business standpoint. Like, if you want to you know, if
Build
you
a
want,
business, yeah.
like if you want to be at festivals and be on stage, you want people out there listening to it and vibing out to it. But yeah, a lot of people are insecure, and social media has really like capitalized on those insecurities and like the like
It got a
count.
grip on them, huh?
A good social media has a grip on a lot of people, and it's
Which,
just swiping.
which one do you think is like worse for men, social media or porn?
I think girls watch porn too.
Yeah, I'm not debating that. I'm saying that specific question. Which one's worse for men?
Um, it's such a similar thing, like porn and social. I mean, it's different, but like which one's more of a problem?
Yeah, which one hurts men the most?
Um, I guess porn. I mean, I'm not anti-porn. Like, go get your money, go do, take care of your family, do whatever you gotta do.
Gotta be PC.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You don't want to hurt no feelings, okay? But what about for women? What do you think hurts women more, porn or social media?
I don't really think porn like hurts anything. I mean, it can give some unrealistic expectations, like with all of and sometimes there's like bad stuff out there, like they're not, the technical stuff, like they might be underage, and that's a whole different conversation where it's a problem. But I don't really. It's just unrealistic expectations, and some are organic, some are like homemade, and like it's okay. It's pretty natural, but I think that's the only thing where it's like, okay, like let's get real. And it just kind of like builds up, let's deliver this pizza, and the next thing you know what I mean? Like it's just unrealistic. Um, but I think social media over porn for both genders,
For
like it's
both?
yeah, because it's
It's
like
really
you put
cute
your
that you try to
life.
say that like porn isn't that bad. Speaking from a woman's perspective.
Well, I don't believe in. I'm very, that's their job. That's
Look, sweetheart, nobody here in this studio or online is going to judge you for saying anything about some girls that are porn stars. I just asked you a very simple question, like you don't have to sit here and try to be PC about it. You could just be very straight up. Fuck what other people think. Like if you feel a certain type of way about it, just say how you feel about it. But if you're the type where you're like, no, I'm gonna support pornography, just stand on that.
As long as it's no, as long as they are of age and there's nothing like evil going on, I support people going and getting that bag. And I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, so I
I could
don't
tell.
I don't bring like I don't see that as like a sin if that's how they want to make their
It's
money.
not even about being sin, it's about healthy. Like once again, it's really cute that you speak this from a female point of view, because if you understood how much pornography is destroying men right now, you wouldn't even be saying the shit that you're saying right now. You would not even be saying it. You have no idea how see, a lot of the stuff that women say on the show and stuff, it's always projecting from a woman's point of view.
Well, men are porn stars. It takes two to tango. Like men are making money too.
Do you think I'm encouraging?
Yeah, he's talking about watching.
I'm talking about
consuming
watching it. Obviously, I'm talking about watching it, and that's why I said social media too. Like we're talking about like what is unhealthy for people. Like and so yeah, porn is extremely unhealthy for men. Extremely unhealthy, and I know it's not for you because y'all don't have the same drive to watch it like men do. Not even close.
Self-control, balance.
No, it has nothing to do with self-control. It's because you're a woman and your sexual strategy isn't even the same as a man. I have 17 times the testosterone of you running through my body right now.
I just don't think it's like.
Hold on,
it's not
1 second.
you.
17 times the testosterone. That is a direct tie to somebody's ability to want to have sex and be horny. You can't even fathom it. You know how much testosterone you have in your system? 13. I have like 800. A normal guy is like 800. You can't even fathom the amount, like what it feels like to have a breeze flow over your pants and then you get a boner. You don't even know what that feels like. You can't even imagine it.
I just don't see like is it like a specific kind of porn? Like why is that so bad?
Why is it so damaging? Because men, like for us to become men and like go out in the world and create things stuff like that, we have to have a purpose. We have to have drive to go do something. The reason why this building is built, the reason why the bridges in Dallas are built, the reason why those big ass towers are there is all in the pursuit of sex and women and children and families. Men didn't build all that shit because they just fucking felt like it. It was always in purpose for something. It was always to be able to have a family and kids and everything. So when you give men pornography, the ability to just pull up a fucking D-tittied bitch right on my phone and just fucking jack off to her 5 times today, that completely destroys a man's drive to want to go and be anything else in his life. And once again, you're projecting, like, you're constantly like judge. It's sad because you're like judging men. You're like, why can't they control themselves? You're a woman. You can't even fathom what it's like to be a man. That's actually extremely misogynist to even like have that opinion of a man like that. It's crazy that like today we have women that will sit here and project like how y'all see things and how you see stuff, and you can't even have the understanding of how it is for a guy. You're just like, oh no, he must be just a horn dog or something. No, we're completely different. We don't think the same.
No, I mean, I agree. We are, I mean, biologically, chemically, like, it is, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
well, it's
different.
just like, I just hate your take on the porn thing because it's I cannot express to you how many guys are in my mentorship right now that lives are borderline ruined because of pornography. Borderline ruined. They can't even get their shit up for sex. You don't, this is no problems to you. But for 33% of men that are virgins in between the ages of 18 and 30, it's a big deal for them. It's a huge deal for them. That's 1/3 of the population. That's a big deal. And like, yeah,
So
go
do
ahead.
you think that porn should be like completely taken down?
I think that is yes, because it's not regulated. If it was regulated, I would totally respect it. But what do we regulate? You said it's fine if they do it at 18. Who's doing that? Who is doing that? Every kid is getting this shit. There's kids getting a hold of this shit at 8 and 9 years old.
And I don't support.
I'm not saying that you do, but by supporting porn at all, you are supporting that. Inadvertently, you support that.
Well,
Because that is the reality of the porn world today.
Well, I'm
We can
not over here being like, I like stan porn, like I love porn. What I'm saying is that I don't judge anyone that feels the need or want to do that for a living. That's
Yeah,
their
and
job.
I will even take it as far as to judge those people. Shout out to Sterling Cooper, who I had on my show, who was a professional porn star, and now he's fully against it. Fully against it, okay? And he was a porn star. You can totally do those type of things. Porn stars can change their lives and be like, you know what, this is bad for men. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to support anything like this. It's okay to come to terms with the truth of reality and say, you know what, I was okay with this shit for a long time, and I'm not anymore because it's hurting people. Like, and you understand, even the people in the porn industry, it's so damaging. Have you seen that? There's a documentary about people when they get out of the porn industry and their life and stuff. The women's lives are fucking horrible. Are horrible. They can't find men. They're depressed. They're drug addicts. It's the worst situations when they get out of that career. When the men get out, their lives are fucking amazing. Amazing. They have an amazing wife, end up having kids and all this shit. It's not. It's even for women. It's fucked up to say porn is okay because it destroys women. And the only women that even get into that shit is based off of trauma. It's usually based because something happened in their life that made it to where they need to take power back and they need to do all this stuff. And it's all because of trauma. You know how many people move in their trauma today and end up making decisions, doing stuff that is so horrible for them. And it's because society is saying, oh, well, that's how you'll solve your trauma. That's not how you'll solve your trauma. Forgiving your mother, your father, and yourself is how you solve your trauma. It's always been that for all of history, too.
So I want to talk about something that was mentioned earlier in the show, where it was, would y'all agree, and this is something that was said, is that men don't pursue women anymore? Would y'all agree with that statement that was mentioned earlier today?
I would disagree. It's still.
Well, there's
being
some
done.
men that do.
Like, yeah, but I mean, majority of men. Do you think majority of men are out here pursuing women?
I feel like majority, yes, actually.
Think so? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Think so?
if that's the case, why was it said earlier in the show? Whenever it was talked about, like, as far as if you want a guy that's assertive, y'all remember that part?
Yeah.
And you said guys aren't assertive anymore. Guys aren't pursuing men
No,
because
I
they're
just-
afraid of rejection. That's what
she
was
said
said.
that.
I said that with
Certain types of guys, right?
well, yeah,
I think that's
because-
what she said.
well,
was like her boyfriend was like, or I
Your
guess
boyfriend was
he's a
assertive.
good
You
man.
said that.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
a good man. And
Yeah.
I just think that it's all about balance. Like, to say that all women are like gold diggers and all men, fear rejection. It's just so black and white. Like, there are some really good down to earth people there's guys out there that will be assertive and will shoot their shot and be vulnerable. Like, it's not black and white. Like, you can find that vulnerability, but also that dominance and that like provider. You know what I mean? And you can also find a woman that wants to go get her bag, but also will let you take the lead and
Of
just
course.
like,
those are
course,
all
but-
exceptions to
Yeah,
the rule.
right,
yeah.
right. Like, the thing is, we live in a life. Realistically, we gotta live in reality here. We live in a life where we do generalize. Everything in life is generalization. For example, you go in a parking lot, you're not gonna see 98% of handicapped parking spots, are you? Because 98% of people aren't fucking handicapped, right?
Right.
So we live in a generalized world, and that's why we're asking the question. So realistically, when most guys aren't out here pursuing women, that's because we have easy accessibility to porn, and most guys don't have access to sex. Only like a certain percentage of men have easy access to sex. So I'm pretty sure you got ladies probably heard of a thing called post nut clarity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And post nut clarity is basically if a guy busts a nut, does he still want to pursue that person? Chances are probably not a lot of fucking times, which is why guys that are sexless are sitting here watching porn. That's why it's fucking bad for
Mhm.
men. They're not actually out here trying to network and socialize with women, with actual people. All they're doing is going to the path of least resistance and doing shit to get that post nut clarity and just being that fucking bum in a basement.
Like convenience.
That's the point. Exactly. That's why porn is bad for men.
Especially OnlyFans too, because if I know, like, I don't know if you know how OnlyFans works, but it's just all like, virtual assistants messaging the dudes and having conversations with them and like sitting there like trying to, have a parasocial relationship with them and make them think that they're gonna get to meet this girl one day and all this stupid stuff. Like, it is very damaging. Pornography is super damaging, and then so the whole reason why we bring it up is because for guys it's pornography, for women it's social media. Like, I want to ask you, would you, if your man, like, say career didn't matter to you at all anymore because you want to do the DJ stuff and you want to travel the world, you want to do stuff. Say that was gone. Like, it's not your goal anymore. That's just, it's not even something in your head. You don't need your Instagram at all anymore. And you marry this guy who's like really awesome. Would you give up like your Instagram for that guy because you don't need it for work anymore?
Oh, if I did not need social media for work, I still want to post photos of my cat, but like I mean,
But yeah, you could just have like a little page with like 100 followers for your cats or some shit, right?
oh yeah, like my
It's not a
personal,
big deal.
I have a personal Instagram where I literally just post like
Cats.
cats, pizza, like the most random. Like no, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
And I don't care who likes it or is like, oh, she's cringy or like no, like I don't care.
What about girls trips? Like, are you crazy about going on vacations every year with your girls? Like, how often do you usually go?
Well, I mean, it's expensive, but if money wasn't an option, I mean, girls trips.
Well,
I
but no, we're not gonna say money. Like,
um,
this is like a new scenario. Like, would you give up, girls trips? Like, well, no, we'll still say he's the badass guy. He's the guy that you'll give up. Like, he's worth it.
I don't think that a good guy would like want you or make you give up any of those things.
I wish I could like compile when girls say the same things and like put it all over each other and see if we could like hear what it would sound like.
Well,
Because sometimes they say the same exact sentences like word for word for word for word, and it's like, this is crazy.
I wouldn't make my man like delete his. You know what I mean? Like I would never like.
But men and women aren't the same.
Well, I don't think any like that's controlling.
Is it controlling if it's a boundary?
That means that he doesn't trust me enough to like have post pizza and cats on my Instagram.
No, I'm talking about the vacation one.
He can come with me. I mean,
Okay, yeah, so then that's fine. Like, I totally, like, there's a difference between a girl going on a girls trip with a bunch of her girls and a girl going on a girls trip and being like, hey, baby, I want you to come with us. There's a huge difference between those two things.
So the scenario is he wants me to be. He's like, no, you can't go on this girl trip.
Well, I was just asking you simply if that's what you, like, if you're the type that you would give it up. Like, would you give up your girls trips for that guy? Like if he was like, hey, baby, I want to get married to you and everything, but I want you to understand if we get married, well, no, we're gonna say even to get into a relationship, he's not even gonna take you seriously for a relationship if you don't stop doing it. It's his boundary. He's saying, I want you to be my girlfriend. I want to say I love you. I want you to take you seriously. But baby, I have this boundary in my life. If you ever cross this boundary, I can't be with you.
That specific boundary.
Yeah,
or, like,
yeah.
just in general?
Girls trips going on. We'll say specifically going to Cozumel with 5 of your girls.
I would like have a real like a sit down conversation, and that would be like really manipulative and borderline abusive for him to like cut me
Why?
off.
How is it This is crazy. Like, man, y'all, like, the sign language is wild. The shame, insult, guilt need to be right. This is wild.
You're like cutting me off for like asking me to give up something like quality time with my friends. Just
Did he?
it's a bound like just to
Did
say
he?
like that's a
I'm
boundary.
really confused because I don't think he did, because he just said, "Look, baby, this is a boundary, and if you want to be in a relationship with me, it's this." So he's not manipulating you or anything. It's your you don't have to be with him. You can simply go be with another dude. He's not forcing any. That's not manipulation. That is me being an honest man and saying, this is how I feel about it. Would you rather me say it right before your vacation and say, hey, babe, honestly, I don't want you to go on that trip? No, that's a loser. That's a fucking idiot. Okay? The guy who says it right at the beginning and gives his boundaries and says, this is how it is, girl, and if not, you can go, and that's fine. Like, there's no problems here. Like, that's like,
I guess maybe I just don't understand the specific, like,
you want to know why, right?
scenario.
You want to know why, right?
I'd be like, you don't trust me? Like, what's going on? Like, I would be like, I don't understand. Like, why would you want to, like,
You talk a little closer if you can.
I would just want to, I would have a lot of questions. Like, I would never enforce, I mean, everyone has different boundaries. So just because I wouldn't agree or, like, have that boundary doesn't mean that that person, like, can't.
Mhm. I mean, the biggest thing is, like I said, you're able to just walk away. Who cares? Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. There's a million simps out here that don't care, and they'll let you go on a million trips. They'll actually pay for a trip for you and your 5 girls. There's tons of those dudes. So,
I mean, if I really
like, why do you
cared
even need
about,
to be with them?
if I really cared about this person, I would want to know where that stemmed from. I'd be like, let's talk about this. Like, what, do you not trust me? Or, like, why do you feel like that is an important boundary to you? I would want to, like, dig deeper into that and find out why.
Yeah, to try to convince him that make it more into her frame. Put it back into her frame, guys, because his frame, his rules, they ain't gonna work. The thing is, the reason why guys care about stuff like that is because we care about something called mate guarding. For 100,000 years, there was no test for me to tell if my baby was in you or not. I could not tell. We just got the technology for this shit 40 years ago, okay? 50 years ago. I couldn't tell. So that means that whenever I had a girl that I was fucking, or any man since caveman days, we really give a fuck about that pussy and where it's at, what guys are around it, all of it. It's called mate guarding. And you actually don't do it for just your girl. You do it for your daughters. You do it for your sisters. Mate guarding is something that men have always done for women. Always. Men have always made, if anything, the world is kind of fucked up today because men don't mate guard women at all anymore. We say, yeah, go walk down this dark street at night. Yeah, go do all these crazy, scary things. And like something bad happened to you, yeah, whatever. It's just because he's a piece of shit. No, I should have protected you and said you shouldn't have fucking done that. Men for all of history have protected women because y'all are the vulnerable sex. We're supposed to, like, we're the ones that are supposed to be disposable and go jump in front of the bullet and die for you. That's how it's always been. It's only today wherever we're seeing these type of like issues, and it's just because we live in such a privileged society where we could say these type of things. Okay, yeah. Let me get to the last part. I'll just have everybody hit the like on the video, please, if y'all are just coming in right now. For the last question, I just want to know, what did you think about the show? Did anything resonate? And would you come back? I'm gonna start with my girl who's already came before Jasmine.
I enjoyed it like always. Nothing new resonated with me, but I enjoyed everything.
No, thank you, Jasmine,
Yeah.
for coming back. I really appreciate
Thank
you
you
every
for
time.
having me.
No. And then what about you? Did you like the show? Did anything resonate? Would you come back?
I would.
No. No.
I would definitely not partake in the experience again. I think
I love that she's honest, guys.
I'm really open to hearing, like, it's not triggering for you to have different opinions. It's not triggering because, like, we're all individual. It's okay that you have a different perspective on things, and it's kind of gives me an opportunity to think inward into myself and what my opinion is on different subjects. And I think it was a good experience to be able to dig deeper into some topics. And it's okay that, differences are okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, yeah, I completely agree. Ignorance is bliss, and it feels really good to like sit there and lie to yourselves your whole life. Like the bottom line is everything that I said today is a lot of it comes from different books like Alpha God by Dr. H. Garcia, Marty Hazelton, a really awesome Evo psychologist woman that wrote Hormonal. Dr. David Buss, The Evolution of Desire. If you ever want to check any of these people that are actually scientists that actually did the studies, Dr. David Buss did a study across 37 cultures across the world, to prove how men and women are and, these different types of things. Obviously, there's always exceptions to the rule, and you can always be those exceptions. But I just want you to understand everything that I said today. It's all just based off of don't shoot the messenger. Like, there's no reason to like sit there and be mad about like the science of like who men and women are, because it's just the science of it. Like, it's not even like anything to be upset about. It's just like, yeah, this is nature, no big deal. And yeah, you can be the opposite of it and try to fight against your nature. That's totally fine.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
I think it was the last time that I was here. We were talking about like, if you were raised in India or whatever, like the example you gave, then you would be a Hindu.
Yeah.
What was the other? What was it called? Like determinism or something?
Yeah, determinism. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, and yeah. we're all on our path. Like, you can live in your free will and you can do whatever you want and you can, do all those type of things. But yeah, I mean, some people are on a purpose and some people are on a deterministic path that's going to push them into the future, and some people are living in free will. It's fine either way. But no, thank y'all so much for coming, guys. Anybody that's watching, make sure to show up on Wednesday. I'm going to do a pre-show on Wednesday. Maybe I'll have a special guest for y'all. If not, then we'll still do the night show though right after. And I will see. Is there anything else that's special going on? Oh, guys, I think I might be on Lapeef King Talk tomorrow night. We'll see. I got to talk to Lapeef about it. But yeah, I might be on King Talk tomorrow night. So if so, I'll see you on that. But yeah, peace out, guys. Y'all have a good night.
What? Toodaloo, motherfucker.